A lot of Jews wear a lot of different kind of hats, and this is one of them. Now, what makes this hat Jewish is look into it, right? You can see that it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I snap my finger, something appears in the hat, which is
Whoa.
actually a chauffeur.
Now you have to blow it.
I could, I could
Are
try.
you that good a magician?
Way too hard.
Way
I'll leave
too
it for the
hard.
rabbis.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, Dovy the
Okay.
Magician. Excellent display of a Jewish hat. Hello and welcome, or welcome back to this channel. My name is Frida Wiesel, and here I explore Hasidic life in New York and often chart how this world is changing. As part of what I love to look at is the inventions of new professions in this Hasidic Jewish population, like when I talked to Shmuley Feldman about the emergence of workout culture in the Hasidic community. Today, I talked to another young entrepreneur, 19-year-old Dovy from the Bar Park Hasidic community, who is a budding magician and performer for this population. Welcome, Dovy. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. I love the opening act. That was very funny. So let's start. You're a magician, right?
Yep.
I have been following your stuff. I actually ran into you at a camping festival where you pulled some card magic. It's correct that you're 19, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No one believes me.
I
It's the
know. I haven't.
hardest part of my job. Convince people
is-
my age.
Maybe you have a magic trick of staying a certain age for a long time. Is that
I
it?
don't know. Maybe.
Never give away your tricks.
Yep.
May you grow and grow older and in good health. You do magic tricks for, would you say you do a lot of your audience are Hasidim?
Yes. And when I started, it was like like the Hasidim of Hasidim, like the most Hasidish you can get.
What does that mean? Where
So
did
when
you
I
perform?
so when I started, I was actually still in school in yeshiva, and it started as in like I guess a mistake. I always liked magic. I always loved magic, but when I started doing it for career, it was more like I learned a new trick. I saw it on social media or somewhere, and it was like I have to do that. So I'll practice it, and then I'll go to like everyone in my grade or in my class and be like, "You have to see this trick." And I would know like certain kids, if I pass it by them because they're very sneaky, that means I got it. Other kids is like, okay, anything would pass. And I would just like try it at everyone. And then once one of my teachers were like, hey, he has a synagogue or I don't know what exactly, but he made an event and he's like, how about you come and perform? And I've never really performed in public. And I just did it. And it was really cool. It was really awesome. And from that, I started doing it more, but I was still in school. Then at a certain point, my school closed and then reopened. Some kind of mess up went on there. So I left and I worked for an electrician. And then I still remember that day, like the location where it happened. It was like, I'm working for an electrician, but I want to be a magician. I was at that, I think I was 16, 17. I'm like, I could be a magician for 2 years and still find a regular 9 to 5 job if it doesn't work out and just have a different life. Like I'm so young. So that's when I was like, get it. I'm just gonna do magic. And yeah, did I even answer the question you asked?
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay.
One of the things that I saw when because you're so young and you started to put content online from earlier in your journey, there is content of you where you look more a part of the Hasidic community, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to show some videos here. You even did one video that has a ton of views, and I even showed some of that footage in my own videos where you
Do
talk
you
about the
know,
pious.
do you know how many people sent it to me? Everyone
Really?
expecting that I've never seen it before. And like, oh my God, do you know who Frida Wiesel is? She put it, and I'm like, the first time I was shocked. And then I'm like, okay, again. And I got it so many times. Oh my gosh.
It's such a small world. It's such a
Yeah.
small world. But I really love that. You got like almost 40,000 views on you explaining what payas is.
Yeah. And thank you for using it. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I just want to frame it because I want to explain that you come from this world and you understand how magic is best performed for this population. I think
Very
that is,
different.
yeah. And that's something hopefully we can talk about in a little bit. You're finding a career in this world that you come from and that involves some adaptations to make the magic work. And the hat and the chauffeur trick is not what we mean by that. That's
Yeah.
just for my audience. So how about you talk a little bit about your background? Can you do that?
Which parts?
Where did you grow up? How do you feel about your
I
upbringing? Anything you
so
feel is important to your story.
I grew up in Brooklyn in Borough Park, and this I would say before I continue. I don't advocate, or I'm not the Hasidic guy to talk about all the Hasidim. I can only share my experience. And if I do say anything negative or positive, either way, I don't mean it. So here's just like my story, what it was. I grew up, I actually really loved some things, and some things really didn't work for me, basically. I mean, any other specific questions?
Where did you go to yeshiva? What sect are
Um,
you from?
so my parents are from Bobov originally,
And you grew up in
and
Borough Park.
in Borough Park, yeah.
Did you go to Bava Chayder?
Yes, for most of my years.
How come you became an electrician at such a young age? That's unusual,
Oh,
no?
so I, I think I'm very, very talented, and I have a lot of hobbies
Uh-huh.
that I love doing.
Like
Electrician is
what?
only one of them, and magician is one of them. I have an Instagram account where I build miniatures, like not like cake, like actual miniatures, like big buildings are small. I used to do construction. That was like my dream way before being a magician. I did for like 2 years. I was super focused in music.
What kind of music?
More producing. Also, then I had a period where I was super focused in guitar, trying to learn guitar. There's one rule that I try to live by. Even though I'm not good at it, I will still try it if I'm having fun. So I'll sit down by a piano without knowing how to play and just play with confidence versus other people will be like, I don't know how to play. I'm not even gonna sit down. But if I'm having fun when I'm sitting down, I'm gonna do that. And I feel like that led me to so many random projects.
Wow, that's awesome. Did you have a similar feeling of joy in the project of learning in yeshiva?
No, maybe that's where I picked up electricity. And definitely a lot of magic. So I think I was born to be a leader and not a follower. And being in school in yeshiva, a lot of times that part could crash because obviously there has to be an authority over you, and it's very hard if they don't let you shine in your own way.
Yeah.
So that could crash. But I was more like the kind of kid where I lived in my own world. My imagination is so big, and I could just go there and imagine it. And that's part of why I like magic. I feel like we can imagine things and then we can bring it to reality.
Did you have a hard time as a student in school? Were you like a troubled kid?
Not really. I was more the kind of kid, I'll sit by my desk. I was always busy. Like I always told people, put me in a room naked, I'll find what to do. Like I was always the kind of kid where whatever, I always had something what to do, but I wouldn't bother you. As long as you don't bother me, I wouldn't bother you. If you do bother me, I'll find your pinpoint and like your where it hurts, and I'll press it. Like I'll push that.
The line of questioning I'm getting at is oftentimes creative individualists in an environment that is so structured learning can have a hard time with that environment.
Here's the thing that I didn't understand. I never rated my success if I got 100 on the test or not. I had no shame of giving back the test empty, the same way how I got it. So that's why I said I did great. Maybe for other people that would be, oh my God, he did really bad because he didn't fill out tests and he wasn't always a top student, but I was okay with it.
Uh-huh.
I was okay working on my own projects without being the star of the class, without whatever it was.
And understanding that you also didn't get into trouble. You stayed out of trouble.
Mostly, yeah. Like I would build my own thing, or once I was in yeshiva, I was very into my bike and I would wire the whole bike up and put lights and blinkers and whatever you could think about. Even Hanukkah, I made like a small LED Hanukkah sign. I put it on, whatever. So it was more, I'll do my bike project. You don't tell me I can't do it, and I don't bother you during class. I was a lot in the hallway. I did help a lot. I was born told that I'm dyslexic, so I can't read. So maybe that plays a big part of why I didn't care much, because I grew up being the kind of kid, let's say the teacher's like, read the next paragraph. I'll be like, I can't.
Uh-huh.
And okay, what are you going to do? The kid said he can't. So yeah, that was a little bit hard. I'm not going to say it was always easy. It was a little bit hard.
How were your parents about it? Did they pressure
I
you
think,
to be like,
no, I think I have the best parents.
oh, sweet.
When I started off YouTube, my father was more supporting of my YouTube channel than me. Now, take in mind, at that point, I uploaded probably 3 to 4 shorts per day. So I was focused, and he was even more focused on it. So I'm really grateful for my father and my mother. And they really let me explore. Like, I would have never known I have so many talents without messing things up in the house, without, living in my imagination.
They didn't say, Dovy, you got to get married. You got to be concerned about your reputation, and it's time to find you someone.
No, my mom was busy in the beginning. Dovy, you have to get a normal job. Like, doing magic is cool. But then when I started getting busier, she was like, okay, maybe you don't need a job. And then every time, it's off season, she'll be, Dovy, you really need a job. It's not a joke, but yeah, just nothing crazy. It wasn't like, you have to get married, you have to be in the system, you have to, no.
How many years have you been doing magic?
I think I started when I was 10. That's the furthest my memory goes back to. My grandmother bought me a magic set for Hanukkah, and I performed at the Hanukkah party. And then since then, I performed every year, and at the Hanukkah party, and every year I wanted to learn the new tricks, the better tricks, the real magic. So I would keep on getting new sets, and at a certain point, it was like, I have all of the cool sets, and I still want to learn the real magic. So until I found, what was that? I think I was in school. I found a friend that he knew a little bit more to magic, like a couple different tricks. Like, I used to hate card tricks. Hate. I was like, you take a card, you lose it, and then you find it. No one asked you to lose it, so don't find it. Until I learned that it doesn't have to be that way. And if you make it personal, they'll care about losing their card, and they'll care about finding it. And if they're the one that finds it, it's even more impressive if they're the one that loses it. Like, it doesn't always have to be the traditional, think about a card, put it into the deck, and that's your card. So I met a friend that he knew a little bit more card tricks that aren't just traditional tricks. So I learned that, and I was like, wow, magic could really be cool. Like, I think I got an opening to real magic. And then I found the internet. And I think it was like probably one of the first two or three things that I searched. Maybe the first thing like magic tricks.
Wow,
and it was just like, oh my God, there's this whole world of magic. And I thought I got some secret to the universe. Like, there's channels that will teach me. Yeah.
Who's your number one channel guru?
So I always tell people I have 20 favorite magicians.
Oh.
So it's very hard to choose one. And I do have phases. Like, in the beginning, have you ever heard of David Blaine?
Maybe.
He's a very big magician. He does a lot of stunts, like swallowing a sword, or bringing up frogs, frozen in ice. A lot of, he's a magician, but he also does crazy things. And he has a very cold personality. In the beginning, I was like, I have to be like him. He's a crazy magician. And I would be very cold. I'll be like, want to see a magic trick? Cool. You're shocked? You're amazed? Okay. That's your card? Put it back. Very, very cold. And it took me time to realize, hey, I'm this guy. Use that in magic. Don't be this, hey, mister, whatever. So till I adapted to that, then I started finding magicians that are funny and stupid. And, there's a magician. I love him. His name is Wes Barker. He's a comedian too. He gave out a book for magicians. And he writes on the top, a magician who can't keep a secret. Because he's just true with the fact. He can't keep a secret. He's teaching you tricks. So I do have a lot of different magicians, and I try to take the best from everyone.
I'm not such a big judge of magic tricks themselves, but I feel like you bring a lot to the performance side of things, which I think maybe I feel more like I'm a judge of.
That's what I work more on. That's what I try to. I look at it like a TED Talk. Why would someone watch me? Why would somebody be interested? Because I can do something cool. Anyone can do something cool. What's when I have to talk? I have to explain something. Why would they listen to the way how I talk?
Yeah.
The moment before the trick happens, why would they care? And I try.
It's ultimately entertainment. Yeah. You're an entertainer. You have to act as an entertainer. Like when you did that trick at Sababa Fest, the camping festival that I ran into you at, you were like, I don't know that this is going to work. I'm not sure. It might fail. Obviously, the stakes get higher and higher.
I love playing stupid. I love it.
I can just
it.
imagine your audience of wide-eyed Hasidic boys who are like at the edge of their seats as you say that.
Yeah, especially when you're like, I might not work. I'll try. And then you're like, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, no, do it. And like, okay, I'll do it. But so they're like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And then it works. And it's like, whoa.
That's sweet.
I like when I do tricks. I like when it's an emotional roller coaster, my show. So you have moments of like, whoa, yeah. And then it's moments like, what? And then it's like, I hope. And then it's like, whoa, so you keep that emotions.
So you make the viewer invested in it by acting like an amateur who might fail at your craft.
Yes.
That sounds more fun, to be honest, than
it's way more
David Blaine's poker face or whatever.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm really glad that I changed.
You're coming into yourself. That's the process of an artistic person. Yeah.
I realized I have so much personality. And you know what the craziest part is? If you're a high prestige person, when I don't mean high, I mean you carry yourself like that when you're not, and you fail on stage, you're over. There's nothing you can say or do because you don't have character. But if I fail now, I could be like, hey, it didn't work. I'm stupid. I should practice more. And then everyone laughs and I move on. There's no embarrassment. There's no moment of, oh my God, what? Okay, cool. It didn't work.
Yeah, I should. That's a magic trick I can do, actually. I don't know that today's interview is going to be a success. Probably not. I do like talking to Dovy, though. He's really sweet young man. Great interview. See? Well, that has something to do with you, though. You're pretty cool. I want to talk about magic and religion because in Judaism, that the concept that I grew up with is that there was something called dark magic. I believe it's dark magic. We use the word kishuv. And there are these kishuf-machers, these dark magic makers who would turn, let's say, a stick into a snake and vice versa, and that was terrible dark arts. So my question to you is, do you encounter resistance to performance of magic or questions about maybe using the dark arts to make your magic? What's the religious element in your work?
I feel like there's so much. I'm trying to find which part to grab on. Okay,
talk about let's pick the card of, do you ever get criticized for doing kishuv? Like, does anyone ever call it dark magic?
I had a show for special needs children a week ago, and I did a trick, and the head counselor is like, hey, it's kishuv, it's dark magic. And I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, look, say dark magic. And obviously it didn't work. I didn't do anything. Then I'm like, say abracadabra, and boom, it worked.
I like that.
Yeah. On a serious note, in the beginning, I would get it more. And what I did is I learned a little bit from a religious perspective where sort of the loopholes are. And whenever I would encounter it, I would have like 2 or 3 lines or places I would tell people, that's right, it could be an issue, but if you check in this place, that guy says that if you do it this way, it's okay, or something like that.
Can you be more specific? Like, what are the lines and how is it okay? How do you get around it?
So one of the problems that are there's the problem is basically you're deceiving someone. So you're showing them something and it's really not that. So one of the rabbis said that if you basically explain one trick how it works, so you're showing that it's not black magic, it's literally sleight of hand, then it's okay. Because the audience can understand how it could work.
Uh-huh.
So that's sort of like a loophole.
By showing behind the curtain, you're proving that there is no like evil spiritual forces involved, but it's just a matter of like illusions and so on, and that makes it kosher.
Basically. And there's some people, I'm on a group chat full of magicians. One of them, I don't know what happened exactly, but he's been doing magic for a while, and his rabbi told him that he can't do it anymore, and he stopped. And I'm not, I'm missing some context of the story because I don't understand how he did it until now, and then his rabbi told him he can't. But the point is, he came to a certain point where he had to stop, and he just stopped cold turkey, and I was like, wow.
When you say you're in a group chat of magicians, do you mean Orthodox Jewish magicians or Jewish magicians?
On more than one group chat, but that specific group chat is from magicians, like Orthodox magicians around the world.
How many from magicians are there? Can you pull them out of your clown car?
Let me think. So on that group, there's also a lot of people that just like magic. They don't necessarily perform. There's also a lot of mentalists and like that, but I think there's around 100, maybe 200 people on that group. And it's really cool to see how people think that some people might be my competition, but they help me. If I have a question, like which mic to buy or something, they'll help me. They'll be like, yeah, buy that one. Don't buy that one. I bought it and I used it for a show and it didn't work. Or I want to buy a new trick. Does anyone have it? Yes, I use it. But the way how I use it is I make my own version. Like I do X, Y, and Z. So if you use it, do that. That works better. Like they help you.
Wow, that's very nice to hear. Can you refresh my memory what mentalists do?
Yes. So I have a very biased opinion on mentalists, but let me take my opinion out. A magician is somebody that does illusions and let's say sleight of hand, right? A mentalist is someone that reads your mind. Or maybe have you ever seen someone bend a spoon? Like they'll claim to use energy and power.
But that's also an illusion, isn't it? Bending the spoon is
so that's why I said I'll take out my biased opinion. I truly believe that mentalist is just like a magician. He just represents himself. Instead of abracadabra, let me snap my finger, let me shake the magic wand, it's let me tap into my intuition, let me think, let me try to feel. But really it's all the same. It's a different trick. It's the same.
It's a different performance for the same illusions is what you're saying.
Yes.
Like a mentalist claims to work with the energy, like your energy channeling it. Wouldn't a mentalist be like, oh, who has like a bracha in the family kind of thing, like that, like reading the room to bring spirits?
So I feel like a good mentalist would also do that in their act. But in general, mentalists are more like, think about a color. Hey, the color you thought was blue. Or probably red.
Oh, okay.
Think about
how would you even know it?
Is X, Y, and Z. So just like magic tricks, there's ways to do things without people seeing it happen, I guess. That's called an illusion with mentalism. And mentalism a lot of times does involve body language because people do express things not only with their mouth.
Yeah.
But that's not how every trick works. So like there's a lot, and then you find your way through.
I think mentalists might sometimes use their craft to say they are convening or they're talking to dead spirits.
That is has a different name. That is I forgot the name.
Oh, I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. A medium. Yes.
Yes, a psychic.
A psychic. A mentalist is not going into such problematic territory as a medium, which I'm sure would be a whole different problem religiously because you're claiming to talk to the spirits, which I'm sure.
I think emotionally too. Imagine you have a party and you hire a mentalist and he starts talking about everyone's relatives that died.
Yeah.
You didn't hire that. You wanted entertainment.
It'd be some kind of party. So, can you talk more about issues that might emerge in performing for a religious population?
I did have in the past, I do perform a lot with card tricks. Why is everything dying? I do perform a lot with card tricks, and I did have in the past where people would ask me, can you come perform, but don't use any cards? Because religiously, they don't, I don't know, they think there's some kind of spell on it or something, which I've argued with so many people. I was never, maybe once, really able to get to the bottom of the source. It's more that people use it for poker, and that's a bad thing. But
Yeah.
I clearly use it for card tricks, and people see me in the street with a deck of cards. They're not like, hey, you want to play poker? They're like, are you a magician? But that's what I had. I've had in the past where they're like, please don't perform with cards. So it's difficult, and I'll usually try to make my way around it. I would use cards. They would be okay with it, but they don't really care about it. So it's, do you want this card or the next card, the clubs or spades? They're like, I don't care. And as a magician, I need you to care. I need you
Of
to
course.
remember the card you choose. And they're like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little difficult.
We grew up knowing about kwittlich, and we called it kuten. Kwittlich are a card game that were played in our community by some families on Hanukkah. So people play dreidel. Everyone plays dreidel, but the more permissive families played kwittlich as well. And my parents were very against kwittlich kuten because it's gambling. So I do get the association of a deck of cards with gambling, and that to us it was a negative thing. Don't bring it into the house. So we don't want to see that at all, which was like now a little strange to me. Any other magic tricks that are problematic in a similar way?
So on Shabbos, right? There could be any magic trick that involves electric. For an example, take a card and sign your name, which is a small detail, but sometimes signing the name is so important because you want to make sure that that's the card. Like these kind of small, or do you have a coin with you? But
You're not
like
allowed to
these-
write on Shabbos. Yeah.
Yeah, these
Or
kind
you're
of
not allowed
things.
to touch money on Shabbos.
Yeah.
When do you perform on Shabbos?
So
Like
I in
where-
particular don't perform that much on Shabbos, but I do have a lot of friends that do, let's say, big hotels, or they'll go for the holidays, for Yontif, Sik Pesach, Sikkis, and they'll perform on Yontif or Shabbos. Or let's say Shabbos Nachtmi, or like, any big Shabbos thing.
Do you know if magic in the Hasidic community as an entertainment is more new, or has it been
Yes.
like it is more new?
I think I'm the, not at this point, but when I started, I was the only one with long payas. I still have my payas a little bit now, but I cut it a little shorter. And I think there's like me and another magician that speaks Yiddish. So there were here and there, but no one really did it as a career. I guess, I don't know the reason why they stopped. Maybe they didn't have the confidence of like being the only one that does it. Because
Maybe there wasn't an audience for it.
There is. Maybe at that point, like a couple of years ago, there wasn't. I feel like if there's not an audience, create an audience.
There
Explain
were
people.
always. I
It's
mean,
entertainment, you know?
yeah. I mean, entertainment is now a growing market for Hasidim with a growing audience. So now you can definitely create an audience because people have the extra money to spend on entertainment.
Yeah.
In my day, there was a lot of like fire juggling and
Okay, yeah.
holding like bottles on your teeth
Like
at
bouncing
chasanas.
still.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a kind of magic, right? I think that's I think like the things that I was used to being like tricks, or maybe it's more in line of circus performance, where people did it for not for a career, but just for entertainment at weddings, like juggling fire or a bottle on the teeth. That's something that I remember were spectacles. But otherwise, I don't think I remember magic.
Magic wasn't. It wasn't a big thing.
Can you talk more about what a Hasidic audience is like. Do you ever perform for girls?
Yeah. Now, one of the typical phone calls I used to get, and I still get sometimes, hey, we're having a shaver brothers or a party where the men and women are separate. Do you want to come perform? I'm like, no problem. And then they're really like, can you come perform for the men? But can you also go into the girls and perform for them for a little bit? And I tell them every time, I don't mind going in, I'll perform. But in the past, majority of the time, the girls feel uncomfortable. And the guy has to come and call me out. Like, yeah, just come out. It's not going to work. Because they just feel weird that there's a man. And when I perform, I try to be as comfortable as I am. Or as I could be. And they're like, don't come in here with all the women and be so comfortable. It's, you know, it's weird. But,
and also magic is so interactive. I'm sure they're uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, take the cards, or I have to put it down, or all these things. It gets very tricky. But I've had a lot of times where I would perform. And this is actually very cute to see, the elder women. I feel like once you reach the 50s, like once you're a baba, you know, once you're a grandma, it doesn't exist. This whole rule of like not talking to strangers, to like strangers, I mean men.
Yeah.
Like I could be on stage and a grandmother would be like, so where did you put that bottle? I mean, you made it disappear, explain. And, you know, a girl would never do that because it's not modest.
Yeah.
Like at a certain age, they're allowed to.
Yeah. It's interesting. I go to this coffee shop where this guy who worked with Hasidic people for years works, and we sometimes chat. And he said, middle-aged and older Hasidic women, they're like they own the world. I was very surprised, but he explained to me that they're like super confident. It was really interesting to hear because he's not even like remotely related to the community.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, hey, I'm too old. I have a million of grandchildren. It can't be that you're going to be hitting on me. So this whole modesty, we can cut corners.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great story. Any other stories from your career?
I would find that a lot of times Hasidim, and this is really from which sect you come from, they're too embarrassed to let loose. So I'll do a trick and then they're all amazed. You can see their faces, but their body is like, they're not going to clap because my brother is looking or my friend is looking and he's not clapping, so I'm not going to clap. So one of the lines that I would say in such scenarios is like, hey guys, this is the place where you clap and you give credit. And then everyone laughs and then it like loosens up.
It loosens them up.
Yeah, and this is crazy to see. You start off a show where everyone is like, no, I have to be perfect. I'm not gonna be amazed. You know, like this whole ego personality. And you end the show and you can see like their inner child comes out. And it's like, wow, oh my God, I actually had fun. It was like, yeah, everyone can have fun.
I love that. It's just the amazing part of having a work that is about bringing joy to people is to see that transition, which I'm sure it doesn't happen always.
Not always, but I love to try to crack that code. Like, don't be professional with me. I'm not professional. I'm on stage and I can make a mistake. I'm human. So you could clap. You could be amazed. You could.
What do you see for your future?
Ooh. I have no idea.
Besides for doing a million things.
Yeah, it's more like I'm living in the moment, living now, and just enjoying whatever I'm doing now. I don't really have a... It would be cool, ideally, if one day I could have an auditorium and just perform there.
Own your own? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that would be like really... My dream would be to have an auditorium where people could just come in. I don't even want to charge. Just like, come, sit down, I'll entertain you. And I'll just show them magic tricks. That would be really cool. But do I have a written down script and plan how I would get there? When the time arrives, if it will arrive, hopefully I'll make it happen. Or maybe when I get a little more guts.
Or when your dad gets onto the project and becomes even more invested than you.
Basically.
Are there any other Jewish magic tricks we can think of besides for a chauffeur out of a Hasidic hat?
I'm thinking maybe a empty box and a couple could appear.
What are the main styles of magic you do? Magical appearance?
Ooh, there's a lot. I usually, if I have to make an impact. For an example of this, I think, this could be pretty cool. So I have I could technically say like for the Shabbos candles.
Okay.
Didn't think about it, but I don't have 2 candles there. But I have a matchbox. Okay. The camera's over here. A matchbox and a match.
Mhm.
Now, nothing is really like it seems to be, but it looks like the match is going through the matchbox. And you can see it's
Wow.
like it's actually going through.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting part, and the part when I'm saying nothing is what it seems like it is because in the matchbox there is a solid piece of brass.
Wow.
Yeah, you can hear that, and you can see it did go through.
Uh-huh. Okay, so there's a
Yeah,
hole, but there's an obstruction.
yeah.
How's
So
that
again,
possible?
I just said abracadabra very quietly.
That's what it is.
I'm kidding.
Where did you hide that bottle? Explain yourself, kid.
I mean, this is one of the tricks where I went to a magic shop. A magic shop is basically a store where they sell magic tricks, and the people behind the counters are magicians. And he showed this to me the first time, and I'm like, how? From where? And he's like, I can't say the secret, but if you're gonna pay me, then I can. Then I'm like, you gotta stick to your rules. If you can't say the secret, you can't say. But yeah, it's a really cool trick. I like doing it.
Okay, are you saying that we need to pay you to find out
No,
the?
I could recommend you if you want to get it. Where you could
Oh,
get it.
okay, all right. So we're not finding
No,
out.
just to
We're not
keep that.
finding. Okay, we're
I
not.
could teach you a different
No,
trick.
we don't need. We don't have to learn. No, we don't have to learn.
I could. I do have. I think I showed it to you at Sababa. Did I
What?
teach you any tricks? Because I do have one card trick that I always teach. Because people always want to learn, and I'm like, I'll teach you if you really want to learn. Should I show it to you?
You don't have to give away the trick. No, I mean
No
we're
problem.
trying to get you
Whatever
to
it
have
is.
your own auditorium. You keep your tricks to yourself.
All right.
Yeah, no need to spill any of it. Just keep pulling chauffeurs or whatever out of your hats
I'll
until
show.
you get where you need to be.
I'll try.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up that you think we should speak to?
Keep smiling. Keep having fun, even though you're not the best at it.
That's great. Do you hope to inspire people?
Yes, I love. Whenever I could have a magic trick and find a way to deliver it in an inspirational way. Let's say someone had a bad day and they'll be like, Dovy, I had a bad day. Show me a trick, which I had it more than once. I'll be like, take a card, right? Imagine this card is you and your day is really bad. And I rip it up. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, if you just believe in yourself a little bit more, it comes back to life. And the card is magically not ripped up or something like that. Oh, one of the best examples I do, I'll show you, where let's say you have.
Oh, that's all cards that you have
Oh, yeah.
behind you?
Yeah,
I
so
thought it was
these are
CDs. Ah.
So these are actually shelves from a tape. You used to keep tapes in it, but a deck of cards is like almost the same size. So yeah, I just use it for cards.
How many cards do you need?
Do I need? Nothing. One deck.
Uh-huh.
What I have, too many. A lot of it is collectibles. So I have a lot of the same or from different magicians. They created their own pack. And these are usually cards that I wouldn't use in a show because they're not the typical bicycle cards. I feel like people don't recognize them. And they're often more expensive than just, But they're cards. They're still deck of cards. So the trick that I wanted to show you was, okay, I'll use the 9 of clubs. So let's say someone's like, I had a really bad day or I feel really down today. I'll be like, no problem. Imagine the 9 of clubs represents you. Now, usually I'll get them to sign the card or write their name on it. So it's like really them. And I tell them, I'll leave you somewhere in the middle, in between everyone else, more towards the bottom. And sometimes you're lost. You don't even know how to find yourself, right? But if you just believe in yourself a little bit more, you remember that you always get back to the top.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'll do something like that where, yes, if I just represent it, yeah, your card went into the middle and it got to the top. But if you make it personal, it's like, it's more effective.
Yeah, it becomes a whole mitzvah to bring
Yes.
it back to Jewish magic. I'm really thematic.
Oh, please do.
I like that.
Please be.
Well, Dovy, I'm going to be sharing with the viewers your YouTube link, your Instagram, where else are you? Where can people find you so they can find themselves on the top of the deck?
I do have TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. But I'm most active on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Like these two is like my main platforms.
Okay. And that's where people contact you to book as
Yes,
well, right?
or WhatsApp my number.
Got it. Okay, cool. We'll put whatever you're comfortable with in the video description. Well, thank you so much, Dovy. It was really, really fun to talk to you. And thank you to the viewers on YouTube and the listeners on the podcast. Thanks so much, everyone. And bye-bye.
Thank you.